going on, Jerome? So yesterday, the Minnesota Vikings announced that they had hired Luke McCown as their new quarterbacks coach. Now, McCown, yes, not going to go through it again, but yes, he knocked the 2003 Vikings out of the playoffs. No! With the Arizona Cardinals. Had himself a pretty solid career, bounced around the league for nearly 2 decades, but towards the end, he was seen much more versus a backup quarterback as more of an extra coach in the meeting rooms, and that's what his calling is. And yes, I mean, he was the quarterbacks coach of the Panthers last year, with Bryce Young, and there's a lot of people saying, like, oh, why would the Vikings hire him when they failed last year? They're like, if you think that Josh McCown is the number one reason why Bryce Young failed in Carolina, go touch grass. Now, just get the hell out of here. You're gone. Luke McCown, we'll get into it. Like, Luke McCown obviously wanted C.J. Stroud, but it is what it is. But here are five things the Luke McCown hiring means for the Vikings. Number one, another high-level offensive mind. Now, I do respect, not Sean Mannion. Now, I do respect what Kevin O'Connell has done, where you see head coaches, not just in football, but in other sports too, where they surround themselves with sycophants, with yes men. And they have their staff where no one's going to be a threat to but I mean, O'Connell has assembled a staff. You look at Flores, you look at Durante Jones, you look at Keenan McCardle, you look at Luke McCown. I mean, those guys all could become head coaches someday, and I think that's good. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is building out his coaching tree, and with McCown, like I said, like basically the last half of his career, he was seen as more of a mentor and an extra coach. So now it's just the title and far less pay. But having more offensive brain power in that room with Wes Phillips and McCown and McCardle and Cooper and Modkins, etc., could only benefit the Vikings. Number two, another Kirk sounding board. So similar situation. So Sean Mannion going from a backup quarterback and the vending machine tuna fish sandwich to a quarterback's coach, it does make sense. And one of the reasons why Manning just hung around, because it was noted that Kirk Cousins really enjoyed having him as a sounding board in the quarterback's room, as a resource, and just an extra set of eyes out there on the field. Now, with Kirk, I feel like he's always like the veteran backup who is cerebral, who can help him in preparation, who is smart in that room, but also not a threat to his job. So that's why he loved Sean Mannion. That's why he loved Trevor Siemian as well. And McCown is obviously isn't going to be a threat to take Kirk's job, but again, another high-level resource in that quarterback room. And if and when Kirk does return, I think that Kirk could really set himself up for another career year in 2025, because not only has he succeeded in the Kevin O'Connell offense, but not to take anything away from quarterbacks coach Chris O'Hara, who got moved to passing game assistant, whatever. But I mean, Luke McCown is well regarded as one of the best quarterback minds in the game. Even though he doesn't have that experience or track record, he's going to have it. And like I said, I do think I would wager a significant amount of money that Luke McCown will be Josh McCown. I mess up Luke and Josh McCown. Don't worry about it. I would wager a significant amount of money that Josh McCown will be an NFL head coach within 10 years. I think it's going to happen. Number three, Sam Darnold. Now, going back to his days with the Jets, Luke McCown, gosh dang it, Josh McCown had a great relationship with Slinging Sam Darnold. Now, Darnold came in with the Jets, number 3 overall pick, and obviously didn't work out. He and Bowles, whatever. He and Adam Gase obviously did not work out, but McCown was seen to have a very good connection with Sam Darnold, and Darnold ended up with the Niners last year, was the backup quarterback, and even if Kirk is back, you could see the Vikings throw a couple million at Sam Darnold, because you see the value of a backup quarterback, as experienced last year around the league. And Nick Mullins is fine, but having Darnold in the mix too, and plus, I mean, if Kirk is back, maybe they don't go rookie quarterback. Who knows? But I don't think that Jaren Hall is necessarily guaranteed a rooster spot either. But either way, having 3-4 quarterbacks that have potential that you can depend on does make sense. And especially if Kirk Cousins leaves and the Vikings go for the quarterback of the future, I mean, could Sam Darnold be a better bridge quarterback than Nick Mullins with McCown in there? Maybe. Possibly. Remember, Sam Darnold is still relatively young, as well as, I mean, he was the number 3 overall pick for a reason, man. It just didn't work out because it's the freaking Jets. Also, helping the young QB. Now, yes, a lot of people are going to poo-poo. It's like, well, he couldn't help Bryce Young. I don't know if Bryce Young is going to work out. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Josh McCown, man. And Carolina was talent deficient, plus all of the infighting and civil war going on behind the scenes amongst the coaching staff. Like you had assistant coaches as informants, allegedly with the owner working against Frank Reich. It was an absolute mess of a disaster in Carolina. So I won't put any of that on McCown. But of course, it's very well documented that McCown and Frank Reich, former head coach of the Panthers, were very much in on C.J. Stroud, who turned out to be the best rookie quarterback last year and maybe the best rookie quarterback of the last decade, and he looks to be a stud going forward. So maybe Josh McCown knows a thing or two about evaluating quarterbacks as well as coaching them up. Who knows, man? Lastly, it's going to be May. Can't help it, man. So Drake May, potential top 3 quarterback in this year's class. There is ties there because back in the day, at Myers Park High School, Josh McCown, who was an assistant coach on that team, started Drake May over his own son, Owen McCown. So again, you know how nepotism works in small town high school football, and the fact that Drake May's talent was so undeniable that he started him over his own kid. That should say something. That should say something. Now the Vikings, will probably have to get into the stratosphere to get Drake May, as well as a little bit of puck luck. Like if the Bears are in at Williams a 1, does Washington balk and not take him, or does the team not trade up with Washington and take Drake May? Maybe Washington goes in a different direction. Maybe they go Jaden Daniels. Maybe they go Marvin Harrison. Who knows? Who knows, man? But I think number 3 would be the spot to be for Drake May if the Patriots aren't in on him, and if the Patriots don't get a better bid. So maybe it's a little bit of a pipe dream right now, because even though May isn't throwing at the combine, I think that he'll put on a show at his pro day and he'll be good to go. But I mean, the connection is there. And Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell have maybe not directly said that they could and should be in the market to trade up, but also they haven't shied away from it. And if Kirk Cousins leaves in free agency, I could see them being uber aggressive, going up and getting their guy. Or hell, if the Vikings sign Kirk to what amounts to be a 1-year guaranteed deal, like it could be a 2 or 3 year deal with really with 1-year window dressing. I mean, they could still go after the pin, really go after Drake May in this spot. But either way, it really doesn't matter which young quarterback it's going to be. I do think that Josh McCown is going to be a great teacher. And also, Johnny Manziel, who was in Cleveland. So Johnny Manziel was sort of famous last week where he went off on Brian Hoyer. It's like, oh, Brian Hoyer was a jerk to me, blah, blah, blah. But he had nothing but fantastic things to say about Josh McCown during their time in Cleveland. So I think that McCown's going to be a great resource. He's going to be a great teacher. He's going to really help these young quarterbacks get up to speed. I think that he's really going to help Kirk Cousins' game as well. Also, hey, if things don't work out, could Johnny Manziel make a comeback? Okay, maybe not. All right, fine. But either way, Josh McCown is going to be a future head coach. He's probably going to be a offensive coordinator here very soon. Or hell, maybe he makes the leap from QB coach to head coach, pulls a Andy Reid. Don't know. But I'll say this. I think that the McCown hire potentially could be as impactful as the Flores hire last year. That's how much I think of him, and it's only going to help out whoever's at quarterback. Kirk Cousins, Jaron Hall, quarterback TBD, probably help Nick Mullins too, maybe Sam Darnold. Oh, did we show the mono graphic? I don't remember. That's a good one. I only really brought in Sam Darnold as an excuse to show that one. Doesn't matter. But I think that McCown is going to be fantastic for the Vikings. But your thoughts are our thoughts. 5 reasons what the Josh McCown hire means for the Vikes. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But the next time, Skol, production value.